Why, hello there, everyone. My name is Stephen Norman. I'm going to be the person presenting our webinar for today. Now, this 1 hour webinar session is going to be going over getting started with automated messages within Constant Contact's program. Now, I know at the start of these webinars, we usually like to give just a few minutes. Some people might be getting out of another meeting, some people might be just getting set up. And I still see quite a few people kind of popping in and getting in, and I see a few more people arriving just now. Now, if you have not attended a Constant Contact webinar before, fantastic to have you here. Welcome. This is going to be a live session. I am a real human being. I know I might sound like a robot every once in a while, I've been told. But overall, we're here to help answer questions, help walk through automations. There are a variety of different topics. There's a lot of webinars that cover all the different parts of Constant Contact. So overall, this is one of the sessions where we're going to be jumping in and doing a live demo and covering a few other things such as how to engage with Constant Contact and how to really use automations with a few examples included as well. Now, from here, let's start off our presentation. I see a few people are still joining in. So if you are just getting here, welcome. Good to have you here. But yeah, inside of Constant Contact, there's a variety of tools: email, list growth, digital ads, social media, text messaging. But the one that we're going to be focusing on is this one right here that I'm circling. It's going to be automation. Automated tools, you've probably seen these and interacted with these a lot in your own life. This is very common nowadays because a lot of people don't have that much time. I've worked with small businesses for over a decade at this point, and everyone has the same statement of I'm busy, 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 busy. People are busy nowadays, and that's totally fair. So tools like automation are there to help out with it. Helps you build those relationships and help you get people closer to taking action with whatever your business goals or nonprofit goals are. So whatever you want people to do when they get their emails, automations help people be more engaged, help your audience be more engaged. Now, we always like to start off a lot of these webinars with some stats. The big key takeaways here is that automation helps you do other things. A really good example of this is if you take a couple hours every month to send out birthday emails, well, you really don't have to. Birthday emails could be fully automated. Now you get those hours back every month. That's a great way to increase productivity, and it reduces your overhead because you're not needing to worry about that thing. Welcome emails are often the highest performing thing inside of an account. Between sign up forms, emails, welcome emails are genuinely one of the best ways to engage with contacts. Now, from there, abandoned cart emails, if you are an e-commerce store or e-commerce platform, abandoned cart emails allow you to get those people back. If they put something in their cart, why not draw them back? For e-commerce, you often thrive on paid advertising. So why not retain a little bit more of that paid advertising promo? Now, from here, let's break down how our webinar is structured. We have 3 different sections that we're going to be going through during our hour-long presentation. So first off, we're going to talk through quite a few different examples. This is kind of meant to lay out the mental landscape of what is possible with automations. I've never even logged into my account. I've never even clicked on automations. I have no idea what you can really do with an automation. We'll help kind of flush out and fill out what you could do with automations through that first part. Secondly, we're going to talk about some keywords, some of the technical things like how do I put an automation together? What is the process that I need to do? And then from there, we're going to be going on off to a live demo. We're going to be checking out on inside of an account. How do I create an automation? What do I click on when I'm logged into my account? And we'll just be showing that process in a plain format on screen. Again, my name is Stephen Norman. I'm your personal advisor for this current webinar. And if you have any questions, if you want to ask me anything, the Q&A option over on the right-hand side lets you shoot a message over to me real time. So if I'm showing on something and you want to ask me a question about it, just click Q&A over on the right. I'll be able to read it as we're going through. Now let's talk about how you should engage your audience through automated messages. This is going to be quite a few different examples. There is a lot of ways that you can use automation. It's pretty much like a creative canvas. So anybody can paint anything on a canvas, but let's talk about some of the main ideas that are really common, and some of them are even best practices. So first off, we have what's commonly referred to as a welcome series. A welcome series. Now, this is fairly straightforward. A welcome series is something that introduces your business to a new contact. Or if someone's on a website and they sign up, or they click a sign up form from a social media post, or if you're running paid ads and somebody signs up, or if you upload a list of contacts from like a trade show or from your point of sale. If you add contacts into the account, they should be greeted with a welcome message. This is standard across all industries. Again, been here for 10 years plus. I have not seen a single example of a business that could not use some sort of welcome message. It's fairly universal. Now, the example that we have on screen is two different emails. There's one on the left, a small dog carrying a toy that says, "Thanks for your support. We're glad you could join us." And this is for Hearts and Tails Animal Rescue. This is for a pet shelter, and they're trying to help dogs get adopted from the pet shelter. That is this business's goal. Now, inside of this first welcome email, they offer an incentive for people to sign up. It's a free adoption guide PDF. It's like 4 or 5 pages long, and it's a PDF that talks about how you should best adopt a dog. So they have a button that says, "Get my adoption guide." And the email also mentions, as "Thanks for signing up, download our free adoption guide." And then about 2 days later, they have a second email that goes out. This is a black lab laying down facing towards the camera. And it says, "Don't keep us to yourself, share the love." And it promotes the social media pages that this business is active on. This is important because let's say John Smith is looking to adopt a dog and he only checks his email once a week. But John Smith is on Facebook every single day. Well, he signed up for emails, and when he gets this second one, he's going to be able to see new dogs posted every day on the Facebook page. So now that person's going to be really engaged with Hearts and Tails Animal Rescue. Not only are they going to be getting the emails, but they also had an opportunity to follow them on their preferred platform. Because if he only checks his emails once per week, but he checks Facebook every day, it's really good to have him in both places. Now, again, this is what's referred to as a welcome series. Welcome series. These types of emails often are sent out on a very quick time frame. More often than not, they are they're usually sent out immediately after someone signs up. A lot of people, if you think about your own life and all the years that you've gone through, you've probably engaged with quite a few different welcome emails. If you pretty much sign up for anything nowadays, Netflix or anything like that, you're going to get a welcome email almost guaranteed. So welcome emails are a very big standard nowadays in a lot of different ways. So aside from our welcome emails, we also have the idea that you should be nurturing contacts. Some people might not know exactly what to do right away with your business. Let's say you're not as plain as a t-shirt company or something along those lines. Maybe you're a software, maybe you're a business that provides a service. Maybe you're more of a consultation, maybe you're a club, maybe you're an alumni club. Whatever the situation might be, you might need to help people understand why you're important for them to engage with. Could be a realtor situation, whatever your industry might be. Now, Lead Nurture Series provides more information and moves people closer to taking action. This is really meant to help people understand Hi, I'm new. I don't know exactly what to do with your business. Why should I pick you over anyone else? That's really the main thing here with a lead nurture series. This entire series that we see on screen is from a consulting business. They help redesign websites and do paid social media advertisements. So you can see their first email shows off their project portfolio. Let the work speak for itself. So their first email kind of shows off the hard work that they do. The second email shows off customer testimonials. Customer testimonials. These are just simple short snippet videos that are on their website. And the third email offers a new client discount. So this really helps people understand, okay, so they do digital marketing and they help websites advertise better. Looks like the people they do work with are really happy and over the moon with how good of quality service that they receive. And there's a discount to get started. That helps nurture people when they're new or they're not extremely familiar already with that business. So, lead nurture series is excellent. You can always have these follow up after your welcome series. Now, our next example is going to be going over something a little more personal. For a lot of small businesses, the main way that they're able to succeed versus large businesses is to be more personal, to have more of that personal connection with their audience. That's where birthday and anniversary emails come in. If you're in the restaurant industry, I extremely recommend a birthday email. Most restaurants have made it a best practice over the last 48 years, where if it's your birthday, they usually send out some sort of discount or a free dessert or a coupon or a discount on your whole order type of thing. So if I know a lot of people could probably raise your hand in this room, and you've probably gotten a birthday email from a restaurant in your own life as well too. Now, from there, an anniversary email. This is really important if you're trying to build those relationships. If you want your audience to feel more personally taken care of, you could celebrate their last purchase. You could, if you're a nonprofit, send out an email automatically to really big donors. People who donate $5,000 should get in one email at least every year asking for another donation. That's pretty standard. Let them know what their money is going towards. But these both fall under personalization. So if you've had like a brand review or a company review and you were told that you need to be more personal, this is one step towards that. Now, from there, we also have the e-commerce side of things. If you are running an online store, whether that's WooCommerce, Shopify, BigCommerce, all of these online stores, you should have an abandoned cart email. This is a best practice. This is an industry standard where when somebody does put something into a cart, if they do not complete their checkout process, then you want them to get an email kind of prompting them to engage with that cart and go back maybe with a discount so they can get the item that they added to their cart. Now, in most cases, you're really going to want to have this set up to go pretty quickly after they've forgotten their cart. Usually 4 hours after is the standard. Now, from the abandoned cart emails, we're going to keep chatting with a few more examples. Then we're going to start talking about the technical side of automations. But I know this is really helping people. What this is really here to help you understand is how you can use automation. It's really diverse. Whether you're greeting someone for the first time when they sign up, if you're helping them understand more along the way, or in the case of an onboarding series, helping them understand after they've made a purchase. This is one of the most forgotten about parts in business. Somebody finally made the choice to buy something from you or engage with your website or take part of your service, thank them. Send them a thank you email. Send them maybe a getting started tutorial or an FAQ or something to help them understand what it is they just bought, how to use it well, and the all important feedback loop. I know a lot of small businesses get hit over the head with the fact that they need to have reviews. in the current day and age. If you don't have reviews on your Google My Business, then you're not really showing up online at all. So, yes, while reviews are worth their weight in gold and are one of the most heavily weighted metrics in being seen as a good business, people don't often ask for that feedback from the people that have engaged with their business. So, you could automate that process where, let's say, if it takes people 2 or 3 weeks to get familiar with the product, have an automation where it asks for a review at the end of week 3. This is really important for a lot of businesses when they're getting started. The first 20 reviews on Google could really set you apart and just skyrocket your business from being found. So I really cannot speak to the importance of reviews hard enough. They really are a key part of being seen online. And this is just most often forgot about. People don't really think about having it be automated with asking for reviews and providing follow up. Now, this is going to be our example. You're going to see these same emails a little later on in our webinar. But if you're new to automation and you don't have a specific goal or something directly in mind that you want to do, well, let's talk about an action series. This is just helping people get started with whatever it is that your service is or whatever it is that your product is that you're offering. Gives people a few reasons why they should engage with your business. And this helps people understand what's unique about your business, as well as how should someone really engage? What do they need to click on to complete what you're asking them to do? So we're going to see this example a little bit later on with a few of our follow-up tutorials that we're going to be doing inside of an account. Now, from here, if you run any events or if you have any recurring community things, or let's say if you just have a big donation drive every year for your nonprofit, an anticipation series is most commonly set up around those types of events. These anticipation events, or these anticipation emails based on an event, help people be more informed, help people feel more educated and prepared for their upcoming event. And it helps turnout for the event because it allows people to understand, okay, the event is happening in X amount of days. What do I need to know to be prepared? Oh, that's right. I don't have any good running shoes. I should probably do that. Should I train for this 5K that's coming up? I should probably do a little bit. I don't know how to train. What does that look like? What's parking going to be like? How early should I get there? Do I need to bring anything? Answering those questions with an automated series beforehand helps people have more confidence in your event. Now, we have covered quite a few different series so far, but I want to take a brief mention to say that not everything is emails nowadays. A lot of people know that your smartphone is within arm's reach at all points throughout the day. For a lot of people, when you have your smartphone, it is always with you. So if you are savvy enough to know more about text messaging or how to do text message marketing, you can put text messages into your automations. So someone can get an automated welcome email. And then about a few hours later, they could have an automated welcome text show up as well. Now, again, texting inside of Constant Contact is an add-on, so you might not have it for your account, so don't worry about it. But if you do want to learn more about text message marketing, we do have an entire separate webinar that covers that entire topic from start to finish. Now, from there, let's kind of summarize our first little topics so far. You might want to get started with a welcome email. If you're brand new to automations and you're not 100% certain on what you should do, well, welcome messages are the best place. From there, you can try being a little more personal with like a birthday or anniversary email. Then after that, it really depends on your goals. What is your business trying to do? What is your business goals? What is your business looking to accomplish? And then you would build a series to help people towards that. Now, we talked a lot about quite a few examples. We kind of walked through just a lot of the good ideas that are already out there for automations. But let's bring it back in and start talking about some stuff that's a little more grounded. Let's talk about the technical side of automations. Automations are set up with a trigger. A trigger is whatever action starts that automation. If you want to imagine it, there's like a racetrack with a bunch of runners all lining up at the starting line. There's a referee that walks over in his black and white stripes. He holds up the gun and he pulls the trigger and it fires and everybody starts running. So a trigger is what starts an automation. And it could be that somebody signed up and they were added to your account, or you tagged that contact, or they're from a segment, or they have a birthday, or they clicked a link, or they haven't opened any of your last 5 emails and they're just getting disengaged, or any of the e-commerce options. So a trigger is an action that starts the automation. What do you want that automation to be waiting for to happen before it starts sending off all those emails? And of course, this goes without saying, you can set up the time delays in between each step of your automation. Somebody signs up, you can make it wait a few minutes and then send off those emails. You can make it wait a day, a week, a month, but you can always set up a delay in between your steps. Now, this is where we're going to go a little more high level, but you can always add splits into your automations. Just like if you were driving down the road, you can turn left or right. This is that same thing where people can go down a different path. They click on a link, give them an email. Are they subscribed for text? Make the next message a text instead of an email. What's their shopping activity? They place an order. Is this their 10th order? Have they spent $1,000 at your store? So having any option around conditional splits, you just should know that it allows you to organize your contacts path. If you really want it to be where this only goes out to highly engaged people or non-engaged people, you can determine those splits on your own. Really depends on whatever your goal is. Now from here, dynamic content. This is a very interesting topic. Not a lot of people are familiar with what dynamic content is, but they've seen it a lot in their own lives, so they can most often just relate it. This is an example email where they were shopping for a pink pillow. The item that this person was shopping for is a pink pillow. Now, down here at the bottom, this bottom part of the email is dynamic. The bottom part of this email changes based on what that person was shopping for. This person was shopping for pillows. It's going to recommend pillows. This person was shopping for bedding. It's going to recommend other similar products. If they were shopping for a sofa, it's going to recommend furniture. So these 3 examples here just help you know that dynamic content really does depend on how you want to set it up. But it shows different versions of the email to different people based on what they might be interested in. We will show off an example of this when we're building our live example demo. We will show off dynamic content in that in just a few minutes. Now you can make a variety of different things dynamic based on location, custom fields, company name, job title. It's really whatever field you want it to be matched up to. Now from there, just like I said, let's jump in and do a live demo. Let's see what all of this looks like live in a Constant Contact account. So in just a few moments, you're going to see a regular old Constant Contact. I'm just getting logged into it real quick. Pull that over on screen real fast. Plain old Constant Contact, regular account, and we want to make an automation. So I'm going to go over to the left-hand side. I'm going to click on Automations. to get to the automation part of the account. Now, this is going to be our welcome screen. We have quite a few things here kind of jumping out at us, where if we want to use a pre-built automation, we can. We have templates inside of every account. And you can see set it up now if you want to start with like a welcome email, and view all templates is right over here. Now, the one that I want to highlight for everyone real quick is this one right here called Welcome Basic. Welcome Basic. This is a very good example of a webinar where if you wanted to, right after this webinar, you could log into your account. You could find this exact thing that you see on screen right here, and you could try this out as your first automation just to get familiar with it. Don't have to turn it on, don't have to use it as like your finished product. This would be a perfect starting point for almost everybody to start learning more about automations. And again, a Welcome Basic, it's available inside of every level of Constant Contact account. So Welcome Basic is under templates. You can either click on the pre-built automation pop-up, or you can click view all templates to see that Welcome Basic. Now, again, this is a teaching webinar, so let's do some teaching. I'm going to click to build one on my own. This is going to show me all of the triggers. This is every option of how you can start an automation inside of Constant Contact. So there are quite a few different ways that you can do so. Did somebody submit a form? Did they just simply visit a page on your website? This is really good for realtors. If they visit a certain listing, send that person an email just talking about that listing. It's extremely powerful. Well, what about birthdays or anniversaries? Or what about if I just want to re-engage people that aren't really opening my emails anymore? Again, depends on what your goals are. But for this example, let's stay with something specific so we can teach on it. Let's do subscribes to a list or added to a list. So we're going to do added to a list, meaning if I punch them in or if they join on their own, that this automation will send off to them. So we're going to do added to a list. When we hit select, it's going to ask us to finish setting up that trigger. So I'm just going to complete the rest of these drop-down menus. I already selected my trigger, which is when they're added to a list. And I want that list to be Cycling Club prospects. So for this example, since we're building out a series for Southside Cycling, a bike club, well, it makes sense that if we have a bunch of prospects that we're trying to get them to join the club, we would put them in their own list. And that's what this series is going to send off to. It's all those people that we're trying to convince to have all the people we're trying to convince to join the club. Now from here, there are contact filters and stop settings. Contact filter, just like any filter, lets you sort who might get this email. Are they only on the Cycling Club prospects? Awesome. I don't want this sending out to any of my existing members. I can filter who gets this series. So again, a filter just works as it says, or you can kind of sort people based on whatever criteria you want to either say yes to or no to. And we want this to be open to everybody, so we're not going to put a filter on this example. And then auto stop settings. Well, if we're trying to get people to join the cycling club, they should probably stop getting emails when they join the cycling club. So if their list is that they're now on the general interest, or if they're in the main cycling club, let's stop trying to convince them to join the cycling club because they already did. And we would want them to stop getting these automated emails. So again, stop settings and filters, they're very straightforward for what they are. Filter is limiting who it goes to, and stop settings just means, hey, should someone stop this series midway through for some reason? I want to save my trigger as is, so I'm going to click save. And this is where we're now in the meat and potatoes of building an automation. This is the core automation builder. This is the main hub for where you can build an automation from. So to get started with, why don't we just simply give this automation a name real quick. Let's say Southside Action Series. Let's just put in today's date to make it simple, so we know when this automation was made. Now from here, have that save real quick. There we go. Now at this point, we want to maybe start building this out a little bit. So, and I'm seeing a few questions pop in as well too. I'm reading through a few of these questions. How did you get here? Over on the left-hand side, I clicked on automations is how I got here. And then I started my own and I clicked my trigger. You can also start with a template, but if you are just logging in and following along, you want to go over to automations. Hope that helps out for now, Luis. Let me know if you have any other questions. And I see a few of the other questions as well too. I will answer those as we're going along because we're actually going to be covering quite a few of these answers so far. Susie, Dominique, I see a few of these. You're going to get quite a few of these answers in what we're about to show. So very, very good questions. Keep them coming. So I want to start building out this automation. So over here on the left-hand side, let's put an email in. So I'm going to use the send an email option. I'm just going to drag and drop. So I'm just going to be putting that over here. So I'm dragging from the left, dropping on the right. I'm going to be adding this into our automation. You can now see we have two steps. Someone's put into the prospect list. They're sent an email. Now we haven't filled that email in. That email doesn't have anything in there yet. It's just showing the steps. So let's fill in that email. So if I click three little dots on the right and then edit, I have two options. So Susie, this is going to help answer your question. And just to read your question aloud, can I use emails that I already have in the account, or for automations, are they completely separate? You can use an existing email, sent or in draft, either one. Or you can start with a template or from a completely blank from scratch option if you want. But you can start with a new email, which is the option on the left, or you can copy an existing email from inside of your account. And if I use this little drop-down menu, we have an example email. We're just going to scroll down and pick. Let's name this one email number 1, reasons why. We're just going to put in today's date so we know when this was made. This is going to be familiar. This is that action series that we saw earlier on in our presentation. So this is going to be our reasons why template. This is just helping suggest for people that are interested in the cycling club, how they should be engaging with the cycling club. What should they be doing with the cycling club? Where do I need to go to sign up for it? Kind of thing. There we go. And I know it's loading in now. And Susie, I do see your mention too. Yeah. If you're new, that's why these webinars are around. These webinars are just here to help walk through and kind of show the program. And as this is loading in again, if you have any questions, you can always ask it over in that Q&A tab over on the right-hand side. Now, this is our example template where it's 3 reasons to join the cycling club. You can see we have a big picture here of someone riding a bike on a really nice trail. You mentioned 3 reasons to join the cycling club. Then we have 2 options for how they can engage with this cycling club specifically. Now, I want to show off that dynamic content that we mentioned earlier, since we have 2 sign-up buttons down here. Well, this is a bike club, so wouldn't make sense if we're getting people that aren't from the local area. So we really only want people to see the sign-up option if they're in Colorado. And let's say we're starting a following in Massachusetts. So let's give people that are from Massachusetts an option to maybe join virtually. So let's say Massachusetts. So if their state is Massachusetts, they're going to see that join virtually option. If their state is Colorado, then they're going to see the first option to join locally. Now, again, dynamic content just shows or hides different areas of the email depending on if somebody has the correct detail, whether that's state, city, company name, job title, favorite food, really depends on what options you set up. But what does this look like? So let's preview this email real fast. Let's say I'm from Louisiana. I don't know how I found a Colorado cycling club, but let's say that I did. Well, I don't have a sign up option. Again, I'm across the country. I'm not even in the right state. So it wouldn't make sense for me to join a cycling club halfway across the country. So there's no sign up option for me. Well, what about if I'm from Colorado and I'm trying to join this Colorado club? I get this sign up today button. And if I'm not from Colorado, I don't have a sign up option. Well, what about if I'm from Massachusetts? Well, they're starting to get a following out there. So they're starting a virtual kind of club hangout. So I can join virtually if I'm from that correct state. So dynamic content just lets you show or hide different areas of the email depending on a certain criteria. Now, again, this email, we're not going to spend a lot of time in here. There's a whole webinar going over how you can use drag and drop to build your email. So let's get out of here and let's get back to our automation, the main focus for today's webinar. Quick water sip for those of you that are listening along. Sorry, it's a lot of chatting so far. So we now have our automation. We have our first email that'll go out right after someone signs up and they're put onto that prospect list. Now from here, this is where I can start building out the rest of my email. Let's say I want to have 3 emails in total. So I'm going to drag over another email block and drop it in. And I'm going to go over to the left. And I'm going to drag another email block and drop it in. So now I have 3 email blocks. Now let's just put an email in each one of these real quick so we can see what that looks like. So again, I'm going to copy one of our just teaching examples. Let's call this email number 2. We're going to be highlighting a unique aspect. What's something unique to this cycling club that no other cycling club has? What's their USP, unique selling proposition? Well, it's that they have a very special leader. His name is John. He's been cycling since he was a young kid. So why not show off the leader a little bit? The person that really helps this club be special. This is going to be the second email in the series. Then if I hit save and close, let's go ahead and fill out that third email so we can stay focused more on the automation side of it. Again, we're not going to be spending a lot of time in the email themselves. That's more just showing off what the content is. Let's get our third email copied in. So again, we're going to be using copy an existing email. And you can see we can select from any email in the account, draft or sent. They'll all show up here. So let's do email number 3, fear of missing out. There we go. This will be our third email in the series of emails. So from here, this email is just kind of showing off a couple of the trails, really show people how good these are. This is really one of the bike clubs that knows what they're doing. And again, the call to action for all of these emails has been that they should join the cycling club. That was the goal overall. So it makes sense that the call to action or the button to click on in every one of those emails is prompting people to sign up for that cycling club. So someone signs up, we can make there be a delay. So let's say we want it to wait just one day before they get the email. Then let's say if I want to have another delay, I can add another one in. Let's have this one wait 3 days. And then again, over on the left, I can drag over a time delay. I can drop that in. And now I'm going to have it wait 3 days again. This is going to run over 1 full week. So 3 plus 3 plus 1. 7 days means this is going to take 1 week to go from start to finish. So if someone signs up on Monday, by Sunday, they'll have got through all of these emails, or they'll have gone through this entire series. Now, that's pretty much it. This is a standard action series. I'll zoom out just a little bit. So we can see it just runs in a straight line from top to bottom. We can see that it starts off with a trigger. Someone signs up, and they're on that prospect list. We're trying to convince that person to join the cycling club. It'll wait 1 day after they sign up, and the next morning they'll get an email telling them the main reasons why people join this cycling club. Wait 3 more days. And it's going to highlight a unique aspect. Hey, here's something really special about our club, or here's what makes our club special. Wait a few more days. Hey, you're missing out. Our next meet is coming up. Join the club anyways. See what's going on. And it's going to prompt them with that fear of missing out. Now from here, I can always keep building out the rest of this series. So if I wanted to put in like another delay, and then I wanted to have a conditional split, let's say this split should be, let's say contact activity. Yeah, let's say if they clicked on any email from that third email. If they clicked on that third email and joined the club, we don't need to send them anything else. But if they didn't, let's give them one last fourth email just to see if they need a little more prompting. So we could have it where if they clicked a link in the third email, they don't get anything else. But if they missed out, let's send them one more reach out. Now again, from here, if I wanted to, I could add any other start, stop criteria. I could filter our trigger or anything along those lines. But let me just remove these real quick. And let's keep to what we originally designed so far. So we just have 3 emails that go out. And let's go back up here. And again, what I was talking about for Jose, I see your question. Can you show an example of the auto stop? Yeah, of course. So for auto stop, let's say if they are going to be a criteria. Let's say that we are tagging our members. So if they get tagged that they're a cycling club member, well, they shouldn't be getting emails prompting them to be a member. They already joined. We don't need to convince them anymore. So if somebody gets tagged that they're a member, let's say they were waiting in this little wait period right here. Let's say they were in between the first email and the second email. And they signed up on the website and they said, yeah, I want to be a member. Well, they got tagged that they're a member. They would auto stop from getting that next email. So an auto stop criteria just lets you stop people from getting the emails if you want to do so. And again, there's a lot of options here for how an auto stop works. Could be an anniversary, could be linked, visits the web page, custom foods, favorite foods, birthday month. Could be any of these options that you have in your account. But auto stop lets you control when a contact would stop moving through that path. I'm going to hit save. Now to answer your other question, Luis, how do you turn on an automation? Very, very good question. Now that we're done building this automation, if I want to turn it on and have it start working, I would click Activate in the top right-hand corner. So I'm going to click the little blue Activate button. That's going to turn on this automation. If somebody went to the website and they signed up, one day later, they would start getting this series. Now, a few of the other questions that I saw so far. Can I see who opens these emails? Yes. Just like a standard regular old email in Constant Contact, each one of these emails has their own reporting page. You can see who opens it, who clicks it, who bounced, who unsubscribed. You'd still be able to see all those details. I would just click on the email to see those details. If I need to edit that path, I can click Edit in the top right. And if I need to turn it off or completely stop it, I can do so as well. One of the important things that I'll highlight here as well is a lot of cases people make an automation, but they need to make quite a few automations. One for cat people, one for dog people, one for donors, one for volunteers, one for buyers, one for sellers if you're in real estate. So you can always copy an automation. Now let's go back to all of our automations. We have like a few minutes. Let's squeeze in one more example. Let's walk through just another example of an automation real quick. And then we'll try to save just a little bit of time for Q&A at the end. But I want to make another automation. So I'm going to click on Create Automation. Let's say this time I want to use a template. So this time, instead of building my own, I want to use a template. So we're just going to use this option to show it off. This is where, again, I have all of the templates that I want to pick from. For this one, let's do a birthday automation. Let's have this one show off text messages. So I'm going to use birthday SMS. Let's send out a birthday email, or if they're subscribed for text messages, let's send them the better option. Let's send them a text message. I want this to go 7 days before their birthday. So 1 week before their birth date. Let's have them get this series. So you can see if they are subscribed for text messages, let's send them a text message. If they're subscribed for emails, let's send them an email instead. Now, just for ease of use, let's say that we want to set up this text message. I'll have it be that we are just gonna, let's do this part real quick. Let's edit that text message. So let's call this Jack's Backyard Barbecue birthday text November 18th. Now, text messages, they're really brief. They're meant to be straight to the point. You're not really going to be sending a text message that's as long as an email, thankfully. So for this one, we're just going to have it be a very simple text message that just says, "Happy birthday from Jack's Backyard Barbecue. Mention this text to your server and get 25% off your next meal." Just something simple for people to read. It's a nice little birthday reminder that shows up a week before their birthday. So let's save and close out of that text message. And then the other part of this automation is that we need to make a birthday email. So if I go over here, this time let's do the opposite option. Let's make our own email instead of copying an existing one. So let's call this Jack's Barbecue birthday email, November 18th. And this email, it's for a birthday. So the account is going to show us all of the birthday templates that we can pick from. If I wanted to start from scratch, I could always do so. I could always go back to all templates. I could start one from nothing. But let's just pick one of these birthday emails for now. Let's show off what it looks like to make an email from a template instead of one we've already made. Now again, from here, if I wanted to, I could swap out the logo, to Jack's Backyard Barbecue for this example. I could say use promo code BBQ birthday 25 for 25% off. And I can continue filling out the rest of this email as needed. If I hit save and close, this will take me right back out to our automation builder. Now, again, I know we squeaked in one extra little example. It's always good to have context when you're walking through this. And again, I can see a lot of people saying this is helpful. Always good to know. That's why these webinars are here. Now, if I wanted to save and close, let's say I wanted to come back and work on that later. Again, if I just go to that automations option, all of my automations will be on that automations page. So this is where I can come back and start working on this later, or I can edit another one that I already did. Just depends. So let's jump back into our presentation real quick. Let's start wrapping up. If there's any questions that you want to ask, now is the time to use that Q&A panel over on the right-hand side. Thank you guys so much for all of your questions so far. I know I've kind of been sneaking in the answers as we're going through it. So again, just to summarize, if you're new to automations, start with a welcome series. It's the most applicable, most universal option for every account. If you have other goals or other things that you want to guide people towards, make an automation set up for that. And lastly, always try to be more customized. Always try to be more timely or relevant when you're setting up your automations. So you can always keep track of them and adjust them as they're going along. Now, depending on your Constant Contact plan, you're going to have different levels of the tool available for you. But just know that regardless of whatever plan you're in, that welcome email is always available, even from the light all the way up to the premium plan. So I cannot recommend it enough to get started with that welcome email. Now, from here, if you have any other questions, if you have any other thoughts that you want to provide or anything along those lines, again, we always have services here available. So if you want like a personal advisor, or if you want to have, let's say, someone help out and just do the marketing for you, there are options available here at Constant Contact. There's going to be like a little pop-up window that shows up for you guys on your end. If you just want to have somebody from Constant Contact call you and see if maybe you're a good fit for having someone from Constant Contact just make your emails for you, that's the link that you would want to click on. Just have someone reach out to you, see if you want to hire someone from Constant Contact to run your Constant Contact. But again, marketing services are optional. You don't have to if you don't want to. I know price point is always a limit for a lot of businesses. So now's the time. Submit any questions that you have. I see that we have quite a few. I'll try to get through however many I can and however much time we have left. But our follow-up session to today's webinar is the text message marketing webinar. So if you aren't familiar with text message marketing, again, this is going to be a pop-up that shows up for you guys on your end. It's going to be our follow-up session. Text message marketing, most powerful avenue for reaching people. Always recommend that you should know about it. Always recommend that you should have a little bit of information on it. And again, our next session, even if you can't attend it live, highly recommend that you register. Even if you can't appear in person, always register because you still get the recording regardless. Now, a few questions that I see so far. And the last thing I'll mention before we jump in and start answering a lot of these, some of these questions I'm going to reply to with a follow-up email, by the way, because there's quite a few different questions that are a little bit longer, it sounds like. Yeah, quite a few different questions. So last thing I'll mention real quick, if you are new to Constant Contact, we have a resounding amount of help that's available. We have tutorial videos. We have on-demand courses. You can call live support. All of that is available from inside of the account. So you can see I'm going to pull up the account on screen. If I want to watch a tutorial video or a walkthrough guide, if I click the question mark in the top right-hand corner, this shows me all of the guides, new customer hub, quick tutorials, webinars, knowledge base, screen share. If you call customer support, you can have them just see your screen and they can guide you through on screen and help you understand what you might be going through. Contact Us shows you the customer support number. The Help Center shows you all of the community stuff that's done by other businesses out there. There's quite a few different options. But again, under that question mark is how you can get to all of that. And that Contact Us really is the best place to be. It really helps you kind of know more and understand more. If you click search videos, the knowledge base is where we have all of our recorded content. So picture by picture, click by click guides, this is where you would find it. But again, all of those options, you can get those from inside of your Constant Contact account with that little question mark in the top right-hand corner. Now, I see a lot of questions so far. Let's see. Mark Perry, let's start with yours. My company does emergency road service. Do you have any ideas for a automation we could use? Yeah, ERS is pretty unique industry, pretty standard. A lot of people, it's like a high stress event for them, like they might be freaking out. So you should focus on comfort, communication, and for most ERS or like emergency roadside service, it's all about reputation management in the long run. If your company has been around for 2 or 3 years, that becomes like the number one focus for like a tailored ERS company. So a couple examples, you could do the post rescue reputation builder. So like if you mark someone that they had a job completed, 1 hour after that completion, send an email. Glad we could help you today. Express that they're safe. Was your driver helpful? Google My Business review at that time. If no, driving towards a feedback form or something along those lines so a manager can intervene before you get a bad review. Different sequence that you could do. The stranded safety sequence. So like, for example, if somebody requests, like a service request shows up for you guys on your end and a driver gets dispatched, an immediate update in your account sends that person a text message, stay in the vehicle, turn on your hazards, keep your safety belt on. Maybe a generic stock photo of someone driving a truck to help them kind of know, just help them reduce their anxiety. I don't know if you're a membership-based ERS or not. There's a lot of membership like renewal series where like you're a membership model rather than a pay-per-use type of service. It's like 30 days prior to someone's expiration. Email one goes out, gentle reminder, hey, we're much lower than tow costs with just your standard membership fee. 1 week before their membership expires, don't get left stranded. 1 day before their expiry, hey, your coverage has lapsed. We have a 48-hour grace period. Renew today. Those kinds of things. You'd have like a seasonal email, 'tis the seasons, snow's coming. It's like you could set it up to where it's an annual series. So one of those anniversary series is that we covered, where it's like November for winter, summer for June, for, car freezings, car heating, overheating. Tired of tire tread, check your antifreeze levels, checking coolant in the summer, checking your battery in the summer. There's a lot of options that you have. So quite a few different ways that you could set up automations. But I really say those should just be kind of some starter ideas, whatever you want to work on. I know I answered that one way longer than I should have, but we're close for time. For all these other questions, I'll answer a lot of these through a follow-up email. Thank you all for coming out for our webinar today. I hope you all have a wonderful and fantastic rest of your day. I'll see a lot of you on the next webinar. Take care. Have fun.